the Zone on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
Good morning, Wichita. Welcome to a fantastic Friday edition of In the Zone, the 10th of July. I am Phil Stevenson. He is James Guerin. Good morning, James.
Morning, Phil.
You are listening to 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, KGSO, where you can also tune in on the KGSO Facebook page with Facebook Live, the stream on KGSO.com, or the app, SC Wichita. However, whenever, whatever, whoever, we want you to participate today at 316-522-1410 to talk about whatever is on your sports mind today. I got to do this just for the players that are listening more than anything else, because
don't sound so bummed.
it was kind of a fire. Okay, Cannons win, non-league game. 19-0. In fact, it was a no-hitter going into the seventh.
From a field guy?
It was field. And then the opposing team hit two pop-ups that we lost in the twilight. One landed on the infield that nobody could see.
Wait, doesn't the sun already set?
There's a certain time at night between about, I would say, 8:45, 9 o'clock, somewhere around that range, for about 10 or 15 minutes. It's hard to find a fly ball because the lights aren't high enough at a high school field, unlike a pro park or something. The ball gets above the lights and you can't find it. And I've experienced that. I've had that happen to me numerous times in my years of playing. Even in some minor league parks, it was that way. But, yeah, we had a ball drop right behind third base that nobody could find. And then we had one, the next hitter dropped one into right field that nobody could find. That were just pop-ups. And so we gave up two hits yesterday and won 19-0. We had two different guys hit grand slams. So, anyway, Cannons win, non-league game. Didn't help us in the standings any at this point. So, we're still 7 league games left to play and probably need to win all 7 of them to have any opportunity to qualify for the NBC tournament. And with 8 pitchers, that's going to be interesting, especially playing 8 days in a row coming up. All right, 522-1410's phone number if you want to jump in. James, we're going to start calling you Jimmy the Greek of World Cup soccer. You said France would win 2-0 over Morocco. France wins 2-0 over Morocco.
Could have easily been a lot more. They had a goal earlier that was called back. I believe it was a offside call.
AVR? Or was it the actual official?
I think it was the actual official.
Okay.
But yeah, they dominated this game from start to finish. They looked so poised out there, collected, unbothered, because they have been in this situation before. This is the 3rd straight time that they have advanced to the semifinals in the World Cup. So they've been there, they've done that, and yesterday showed. If you actually looked at If you watch the game, you would tell by the eye test. But Morocco didn't create a single chance. They had a couple of shots. French goalie actually had what? How many? 4 saves. He had 4 saves.
I don't know.
That's what it says.
I didn't get to see the game.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, 1 save. So he wasn't tested. He wasn't. They were at no point threatening.
Okay.
They had 1 shot inside of the box the entire game. Morocco did. They were outmatched. I mean, and we knew this going in, that France was the better team by far. But for them to have 8 touches inside of France's box the entire game, they just didn't have any room to work with. They had nothing to work with. And so I was actually a little bit surprised when Morocco came out and they weren't playing a 5-man back, 5 defensive guys. Because at this stage in the game, it becomes very obvious, okay, this team's better than us. We need to park the bus. We need to go and complete, what do you call it?
Prevent the win.
Prevent the win, right. They should have started that from the very opening minute of this game, because they knew that they weren't going to have many chances to begin with. And it says here they have a shot from about midfield. I'm not going to count that. But the other 3 that they had were right outside of the box. None of them were on target. So this was just a one-side domination. No chances created. 1 shot on goal. Somehow they had more possession. Morocco had 52% of the possession. But when France had the ball in Morocco's side, they capitalized. And it was Mbappe missing a penalty. That's what it was. Not a VAR.
I was going to ask you about that. I had heard he missed a penalty
Yeah,
kick.
It wasn't a VAR. He missed a penalty. That's
Was
what
that
it was.
in the first half?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, when he missed it, I kind of laughed and I said, "Well, good, because I need the under." And it actually ended up being all the difference.
But no score at the half.
No.
So Morocco, at least for the first half, was doing a pretty good job, not having to play 5 guys back.
And the other thing too, you look at the advanced stats. Morocco passed the ball a lot defensively on their side of the field, which was to be expected to keep the ball away from France. They can't score if they don't have the ball. I mean, it's pretty straight up.
That's pretty basic sports knowledge.
Right. If they don't have the ball,
without the ball,
if you don't have it, you can't score, which is why in high school we see teams hold on for the whole quarter.
Okay. That's why Dean Smith invented the 4 quarters offense.
But forward zone passes, so basically passes on the opposing side of the field, France had almost double the amount of passes on the front side than they did in their own half of the field. So they were pushing the entire game, and they were putting on that pressure for Morocco. They didn't give them anything easily. And if you actually look at the fouls, no card. There was only 1 card in this game, so it was generally a pretty clean game.
On whom?
Morocco. Morocco had the 1 card. But there were 23 total fouls, which is a little surprising, but not really, because I know some referees, they think of politics and they don't want to give a card out because then they could miss the following game.
Right.
If they have already had a yellow at some point in the tournament. So referees don't like to do it unless it's absolutely necessary, because they know what's at stake as well. They don't want to ruin the flow of a team's chemistry or their momentum because of a lackadaisical yellow card or whatever.
Okay. All the hoopla of there being Argentine refs was really all for nothing.
It was all fluff.
Just to try to create more interest?
Or that's just how dominant France is. I mean, they were expected 3.7 goals. I know that the Mbappe one should have made it 3. But Morocco was only had 0.14 goals expected off of their one shot on goal. They just couldn't score. They couldn't do anything on offense. I mean, as soon as they would take the ball into France's defensive side, they didn't have the ball for much longer other than that.
Right.
I mean, there were guys just swarming the ball at any possible chance that they could. And what makes it effective is because when a guy goes up to challenge, that space is now open where you just left. Someone's got to fill into your spot, and then it's all a slide, right? Everybody has to slide into that new position, and they do it, and it's so fast and so smoothly, you don't even realize it. And before you know it, it's like, how do they always have guys in the right place at the right time? That's coaching.
Okay. 63,811 people attended the game in Foxborough, Massachusetts, with what I understand was a fairly warm day in New England yesterday. Did that play a factor in the game at all?
No.
Okay. Because he played it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, 4 o'clock, I guess, Eastern. Central or Eastern Daylight Time. So 2-0, France advances, you said now, for the third consecutive year.
Third World Cup.
World Cup that they've been in the semifinals?
That's right.
Okay. And if I also heard correctly, Mbappe scored his 20th all-time World Cup goal, which puts him one behind the all-time leader, Lionel Messi. And Messi's played in 6 World Cups and Mbappe 3.
This is the third time that we've had a team make 3 consecutive semifinals. Brazil has done it twice in 2 different occasions, and Germany did it. They reached 4 straight. So this is new. This is definitely something new to all of us.
Okay. Well, congratulations to the Frenchmen. They move on. They now await the winner of today's game between Spain, that's James's team, picked to win, and the team that knocked out the Americans, the Belgium Waffles. Are they happy now that they're in the quarterfinals with that victory over Team USA? And that's enough. They're good.
Yeah, I think the run stops here for them. Spain is just a better team. But that's not to say that Belgium doesn't stand a chance.
Okay.
The only way that they do stand a chance is if this goes to penalties. So a 1-0 game is definitely in the books for me. Because, Spain, they do have the ability to put up goals like France does, but we have seen them kind of disappear sometimes offensively, and that's why they tied Cape Verde in group stage. And that was the massive shock of the entire World Cup. Was Spain was supposed to put up 5 goals on this team. They're over here lollygagging with them. But outside of that, Spain has looked in peak form. But yeah, Belgium, I've been saying it all week. I think they used all their emotion in that last game. But they don't have this mentality that they can beat anybody, because they're realistic too. They were just PO'd with us and annoyed with us that they just kind of wanted to give it to the United States again one last time. And so that I think that made them all happy for about a day or two, and then they had to come back to reality and realize, oh yeah, we got Spain now. I mean, this is not something that we need to take lightly. So I'm expecting a 1-0 game. So we'll go with the under again.
Taking the under on this.
And at this stage, I mean, defenses, the field gets a little bit smaller. Lanes get a little bit tighter. Your reaction time has to be faster. Guys come to you quicker. I mean, it's just, it's kind of like NHL playoffs where you could just feel the stakes are higher, right? And there's a little more physicality in NHL playoffs. A little bit more physicality in the World Cup when we get to this stage. So we'll see a lot of physical play, guys bumping against each other, guys flopping like they're fish out of water, which still gets to me, by the way. I don't understand that. And another thing, too, this is not a big talking point, but it's something that I've noticed. On corner kicks, there's that little quarter circle,
Sure.
and you're supposed to have the ball touching any part of that line of the arc
Right.
when you kick it. But these guys, and I don't know why they do this, and I asked my dad this too, why do players test the referees and place it just outside of the line to where it looks like it's touching it, but it's not quite touching it? Only for the referee to look at the player and say, move the ball back. They do it on every single one of them. And as a soccer guy, I don't even know why they do that. Do I really think that extra 6 inches closer is going to make that much of a difference? I'm going to say no, but there's probably some people out there that would say the ball doesn't have to travel as far, therefore you have more control over it. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy into that narrative, but they need to stop it with those silly antics. Every time the corner kick happens, just watch. You'll see the guy place the ball just ahead of the line, and then the referee will hand motion, move the ball back. What are you doing? I see it. I'm going to tell you to move it back, so why do you do it? And that part, it's a little irritating, a little funny, but I don't know why they do it.
They're creating additional stoppage time.
I mean, I guess, but an extra 5 seconds? I mean, come on.
I don't know. It's kind of like the fair foul ball of the baseball on the foul line, whether it was touching or not touching, but ball hanging over.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be anyway. You'll have to watch it for me, James. 2:00. I have 2 dogs at the vet, and I have a man coming to spray the house at 3:30 for our bi-monthly bug killing expedition, I guess you would say.
Oh, I hope they're not charging you out of the wazoo for that. That's what I used to do, Phil. So if you tell me how much they charge you, if you tell me how much they charge, I could tell you if you're getting a good deal.
Okay. Every 2 months, it costs me $73.
$400 a year? I guess that's not that bad. That's not that bad.
Okay.
As long as is it doing the job?
It's doing its job.
All right,
and
then.
if I have an issue,
You can call them back.
they come back out.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a good deal.
So 522-1410. Sorry about that. Is the phone number. If you want to jump in. Don't forget, we'll have the Diamond Highlight Zone. Almost the full slate of games yesterday. I think there were 13 games. There were only 4 teams that didn't play yesterday. 5. The Royals didn't show up. And so we'll talk about that in the last segment of this first hour. Now that we're down to so few World Cup games, it can't quite eat up the entire first segment here unless you've got anything else to add. I have nothing. I didn't get to watch the game last night. We scored more goals in the first 2 innings, or more point runs in the first 2 innings than there were goals in this last game. So that's just how it works. All right. 522-1410's phone number if you want to chime in someplace with any of this. Anything you want to add with the World Cup?
I kind of just wish Mbappe could do what he's doing now for the club that he plays for.
Why can't he?
Because I think when international play happens, the coaches aren't as tactical because they're only playing with each other for 5 to 8 games versus 40 or more for a club season.
Okay.
You could get, annoyed with teammates. You can get frustrated with teammates over 40, 50 games. 8 games, you have a lot less opportunity to get frustrated with your teammates because you realize, all right, we just got to win 8 and we're the champs. So let's just play to our strengths, not what exactly the coach's strengths are, which is what a lot of club teams do now. It's not so playing to what the players are good at, it's what system does that coach have and can the players that he has work with that system. Whereas, international, you're good at something, use it. Because
why wouldn't you do that in?
Because it's harder to do that over a course of 40 games, right? Because international, Mbappe's been the guy, and he's been the main focus. Now, if that were the case in club soccer where he was getting all the goals, he was getting all the glory, that messes up chemistry with the other guys because, A, a lot of them aren't the same nationality. And I don't know why that has a difference, but it does. You just play better with guys from your own nation. And that's been apparent throughout soccer history. You want guys from the same country for the most part to keep that, the chemistry high, just to keep everyone's hopes high. And so when you and a good example of somebody who was a very skilled player and didn't really work out, this is a name you won't know, but his name was Gareth Bale. He was a very, very talented soccer player. He was at Tottenham for a long time, and then Real Madrid decided to bring him over because he was a world-class player. Unbelievable. He was fast. He could dribble. He could shoot from distance. I mean, the guy had everything that you could ask for out of a winger. But then they brought him over to Madrid, and he just wasn't as effective. He was still good, but he was nowhere to what he was before that. And that was because of his lack of communication with the rest of the team. He's from Wales. There's no other player on Wales from that team. They're all from Spain, Portugal, South America. The lingo, he wasn't up to speed with them. He couldn't communicate with them. And I know that can be kind of an outlier in this comparison, but it's more, you're more likely to just let the stars do their thing in international because you don't have to deal with them as long, right? It's like, damn, I don't like Mbappe, but for 5 games, can I just give the guy what he wants? Sure, I could do that, but I don't want to do that over 40 games because then that takes the light away from me and what I could potentially do for myself in the future. No, I mean, that's a real thing that these players have to worry about. And that's why coming into this World Cup, the question was, is Mbappe going to be able to still mesh with his French teammates? Because the last couple of years in Madrid, they've been kind of disappointing from his standpoint.
Right.
No trophies, no recognition, no fame, while his other teammate Dembele has been getting all the fame, all the spotlight. So I was expecting a little bit of a clash between these two guys, but they've put that stuff aside, and they're just going out and playing.
So, okay, so the last guy you just mentioned,
Dembele.
is he a Frenchman?
Yeah, he's the one that scored the second goal.
Okay, so
they used to
they
be
play for different teams.
Now they do, but 3 years ago they were on the same team,
and they didn't gel.
They couldn't win anything. But it's not just those two; it's all the other guys that were there as well.
Okay,
Not
so I'm going to
just
ask you
those
a
two.
really silly question.
Oh, let's see if I have a silly answer.
You have players from all these different countries that play for these teams in the these leagues all over the world, basically. How do they communicate? Do these guys all have the ability to speak multiple languages?
I mean, that I'm not certain on, but for the most part, like most teams in Spain can speak Spanish. Most teams in France, they speak French. Now, they've been in Europe. I mean, Europe does such a great job at making, when they're in school, they'll learn multiple languages. Like that's kind of a standard out there. They're not just learning their country's language.
Okay.
They're learning 2 or 3 others. And that's the system. That has nothing to do with sports, but that's just how they're brought up in Europe. They learn multiple languages. We don't do that. I mean, we try it here. I learned Spanish. Do I remember most of it? No. So
I learned Spanish when I was in the winter ball leagues. Be able to tell the cab driver where to go to get me somewhere. Probably a few phrases I shouldn't repeat on the air. But yeah, like I said, I've forgotten most of it in that point in time.
Like, there's probably a baseball example of a guy who was good. It was just in the wrong spot, the wrong team, because he just didn't have the chemistry with them. And I can't think of an example right now, but like, can you imagine if Murakami was struggling and he was struggling to connect with his teammates? He probably wouldn't be doing as well.
Right.
But because, they embraced him, he's learning, he wants to, expand his knowledge. I mean, yeah, he's going to be doing well because he's in a right state of mind.
Now, if you can just get him off the IL.
Hey, he's doing his AA rehab assignment.
Okay.
Which also brings me back to another thought before I take off out of here. Should we think about? No, I'm not going to bring that up. But I love it when AA teams and AAA teams, they have these stars from their big league clubs that are on rehab. They got to absolutely love that.
Oh, I've been there. I've been on both ends of it. Having a guy that comes down. I've also been the guy that's gone down on a rehab assignment. And
you're like the feature player.
Well, the funny part is that when at AAA, not a big deal, because guys
they go up and down all the time.
So but in AA, they expect that big league player to buy a meal on the road for everybody. So I did that one time. It was in Midland, Texas, and it was Kentucky Fried Chicken. But either way you look at it, it still costs a lot of money. All right, we'll take a break. It's just me and you now for the next segment. 522-1410 is the number. I'll be back.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811-BEFORE-YOU-DIG.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys, register to win great prizes, listen live, message our shows, and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and games you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KGSO your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Sports Talk, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today with Wichita's Sports Station, KGSO.
The burrito is fire.
Hi, this is Maya.
And I'm Antonio. And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito
is that it fuels our morning.
It's the full package.
You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns for a nice little crunch.
The chicken's always nice. It's crispy, it's juicy. And the cheeses, they melt together in a beautiful way.
And it gives me energy. It's perfect.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Phil's Coins and Bullion, Kansas's premier bullion dealer.
If you want to add gold and silver bullion to your portfolio, there's no better place to go. Make sure to check out Phil's Coins online at philscoins.com. And with the largest variety of items, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Phil's Coins and Bullion, 9344 West Central Avenue. Go check them out today.
Phil's Coins and Bullion, philscoins.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Hi, this is Brian Davis with Davis Liquor Outlet. And this is Blake Davis with a deal on Bud Light 12-pack 16-ounce, just $13.99. And for you wine lovers, 90-plus wines, 750 ml, only $9.99. Davis Liquor Outlet, each store independently owned and operated. Neighborhood locations with superstore pricing.
With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon Jaimes. Devon Jaimes Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Remember, today you listen to Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. Talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, just a living for the minute. Yeah, way down yonder on the
Alan
Chattahoochee,
Jackson
never knew
bringing
how
us
much
back
that
here
muddy
on
water
the zone.
meant to me. But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living and a little about love.
1410, that's the phone number. Carl here wants to know, Phil, what is the remaining Canyon schedule? Dates, times, locations. Woo! Okay, well, number one, the All-Star game is tomorrow in Hutchinson, 7 o'clock, first pitch. They have a 5:30 vintage game that will take place prior to that. Then for us, we're at home Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Kingman on Sunday. We play the Clarinda, Iowa A's in a non-league game on Monday. And then Newton on Tuesday. That's our final home game. It wasn't scheduled this way, but this is how it worked out. Because of weather and just changes in the schedule. Wednesday, we're at Newton. All these games are 7 o'clock, by the way. Thursday was supposed to be an off day, but now we're having to play a makeup game at Junction City. Friday, we're at Kingman. And then Saturday, Sunday of next weekend, both games are at Derby because of weather issues. We had to play a doubleheader at our place, and now we're giving them the home game back where their field was underwater. So we go there on Saturday, Sunday. And 3 of the starting pitchers I had lined up to help us out to finish the season now are not coming. 2 have been shut down by their teams, their college teams. And the other one just said he's not coming now. So we'll see what we can't do to try to put together something to try to be competitive on the mound where we can. Because I know the games matter for everybody. I mean, we need to win all 7 realistically to have a chance to at least finish 3rd in the league. And I don't know if we have enough pitching to do it. I think we have enough hitting, but I don't know if we have enough pitching. So, there it is, Carl. All games are at 7 o'clock. Now, I will tell you this. There is a possibility, very remote, but there is a possibility. On the Monday game with Clarinda, Iowa, out in Augusta, that former Major League pitcher Mike Pelfrey could possibly make an appearance to help us out with this. So if I get information and know that, you'll have to tune in to Monday's show because I probably won't know till over the weekend. There's a possibility he might come out and throw a couple innings for us. So there might be a bunch of you that want to come out and see. And Mike's probably got to be probably mid-40s right now. But I saw him pitch in a inter-squad game where a pitcher got hurt. I believe this was in the fall of 21. And he took about 5 minutes to get loose, and he went out and threw like 2 or 3 innings to help in an inter-squad game. And he just carved guys up like they weren't even there. Now, that's been 5 years ago. But it's a guy that had a 12-year major league career. So I'm hoping that things work in our favor, that he'll be able to come out. Because I'm sure he still plays catch. He's the head baseball coach at Cape and Mount Carmel. So he still plays some catch and probably still throws some batting practice. And, you know, if somebody smarts off, he probably breaks off a slider and makes them look stupid. So you'd be smart not to do that. All right. 522-1410 is the phone number. Hope that helps you out there a little bit, Carl, with that. Couple of NFL tidbits to throw at you, and one of them is of a Kansas nature, is that the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, have decided that they are going to retire the number 44 worn by former Kansas running back John Riggins. More than 40 years after he scored a touchdown on one of the most famous runs in Super Bowl history, he becomes the 7th player in franchise history to have his number retired. He'll be honored in a game in Washington against the Los Angeles Rams on November 8th. That is not a guy I would have ever wanted to really tackle, stick my nose in there, all that stuff. But good to hear that Washington is going to retire his number. He retired. He spent some time with the Jets as well. He retired with 11,352 rushing yards and 104 touchdowns, and he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1992. So other numbers that have been retired by Washington: Sammy Baugh, number 33, Bobby Mitchell, number 49, Sean Taylor, 21, Darrell Green, number 28, Sonny Jurgensen, number 9, and Art Monk, number 81. All but Taylor are in the Hall of Fame. So, pretty cool deal there for John Riggins to have that done. And then a study came out, which is probably not surprising, that NFL players are 4 times more likely than the general population to die of neurodegenerative diseases such as dementia and Parkinson's. Said the researchers studied almost 20,000 athletes who played in the NFL between 1960 and 2019. Just said that happened. I mean, it's tragic. It's not surprising, though, I don't think. Considering all the contacts, that happen to your head, especially offensive and defensive linemen. They've stepped away from all the big hits that used to happen a lot of the time, but still, if you're in the trenches, your head's getting popped every play, pretty much. Just thought I would add a little NFL news during this segment. Take a break. James returns, and it's time coming up next for the Diamond Highlight Zone.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811-BEFORE-YOU-DIG.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mic check. All right, this is interesting. Draymond Green of the Warriors has declined his roughly $28 million option to become a free agent. Again, doesn't mean he's leaving. What he is doing is signaling to you and I, LeBron and AD may be Warriors. I like this move.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays at 11 a.m. right here on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
Does the oil and natural gas industry make an impact at the county level? I'm Warren Martin, and this is Fueling Kansas with Kansas Strong. Oil and natural gas are produced in 93 of 105 counties in Kansas, but does it make an impact? The short answer is yes, and in some counties it makes a dynamic impact. 12 counties in Kansas receive more than 20% of their total revenue from the oil and natural gas industry. In 13 counties, more than 20% of the local non-ag-related jobs are provided by the industry. Take, for instance, Haskell County. If you look at the total dollar value of county property tax revenue received on a per capita basis, Haskell stood out with an average of $2,246 per resident. 8 other counties received more than $1,000 per resident. For every person living in the county, the industry provided more than $1,000 in county income. These are also the counties that are directly dependent on jobs, with all of them having more than 20% of the jobs dependent on the industry. This is Fueling Kansas. Find out more and get the facts at fuelingkansas.com.
Hey, Phil Stevenson here, and when I need to get in the zone to watch the big game, I head over to Dino's Grill and Tap Works at 21st and Webb Road in Cambridge Market. It's the place to watch all the big games, with TVs everywhere, a great selection of ice-cold beer on tap, and the best happy hour in town from 3 to 6 daily, and all day Mondays and Thursdays. That's half-price wells, martinis, and the perfect margaritas. And oh man, the food is awesome, with something for everyone, from great apps and salads to ribs and steaks to homemade pizza. Check out a game at Dino's at 21st and Webb.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you.
Asking my favorite Hog Wild menu item would be like asking who is your favorite child. It's impossible. While I love all of our award-winning barbecue options, I've got a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hi, I'm Josh Wissing, Hog Wild partner and general manager at 47th and South Broadway. I love turning customers onto the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. We serve our tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and pile it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus, you still get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. When you're craving familiar, but in the mood for something new, Hog Wild's Carolina pulled pork sandwich is the answer.
Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
Wichita's home for Aftershocks basketball. This is KGSO.
little KC and the Sunshine Band because, it's time to get excited and shake, shake, shake your booty for the Diamond Highlight Zone. James and I recap some of the games from yesterday in Major League Baseball. And as always, courteous me, let's James go first.
All right. Number 5 yesterday. Diamondbacks over your Padres, Phil, 3-1.
Oh,
Merrill
boo.
Kelly, 7 innings, 6 Ks, 3 hits, an earned run, 3 walks. He's now 7-8 on the year. And Griffin Canning, he probably wants to forget this season even happened. 4 2/3, 5 Ks, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. He's 1-7. Manny Machado, he had a solo home run, his 19th of the year. He was 2 for 3. Nolan Arenado had a solo home run for his only hit. And this game was tied after the first 3 innings, and then Arizona scored 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. 19 total strikeouts, 11 total hits.
All right. You remember Monday of this week, or no, it was Tuesday of this week, when it was Monday, when the Yankees had 3 hits, scored 5 runs, and they beat Tampa Bay and struck out 17 times? And then he proceeded to do it again 17 more times the next day. And then 11 yesterday. Hey, guess what? They figured out if you put the ball in play, you might actually score some runs. Yankees 12. Tampa Bay 4 yesterday. 14 hits for the Yankees. Ben Rice had a big day. Hit 2 home runs. He's got 28 on the year now. Drove in 5 runs. 2 hits for McMahon, third baseman. Wells hit his 5th home run. 14 hits, only struck out 7 times. This was off of Rasmussen of Tampa Bay. He only went 2 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs. And it was a bullpen day pitching for the Yankees. They had, 7 different guys pitching the game yesterday. But they managed to pull out the victory, 12-4.
Number 4, the Red Sox over the White Sox 2-1. Patrick Sandoval for Boston, 4 1/3, 5 Ks, 5 hits, an earned run and a walk. No decision. Anthony Clay for the White Sox, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks. He falls to 6-4. Caleb Durbin had a 2-run home run in the 4th. He was 1 for 4. And then Andrew Benintendi had the lone RBI single in the bottom of the 5th. And another game where there were more strikeouts than hits.
That's every day in Major League Baseball. Atlanta knocked off the Pirates 10-5 to take the series 2-1. 4 runs in the 9th inning blew the game open for the Braves. They had home runs from Olsen, his 25th. Yastrzemski hit his 6th. And this guy... I gotta get make sure I got his first name right. Jim Jarvis, playing shortstop, hit his first Major League home run. Had 3 hits, drove in 2. Yastrzemski home run was a grand slam. As I mentioned, Olsen hit his 25th. 4 for 5 for the Pirates. Jake Mangum in this game. But he had half of their hits. When that happens, usually don't score enough runs to make it all work. Atlanta 10, the Pirates 5.
Number 3, Phillies over the Reds, 1-0. The only run of the game was a Justin Crawford RBI single in the top of the 8th inning. Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies, 7 innings, 11 Ks, 2 hits, 2 walks. He goes to 8-4. Brady Singer, 7 1/3, 5 Ks, 4 hits, an earned and a walk. He falls to 3-9. Brandon Marsh, the only player in this game with 2 hits. You'll like this one, Phil. 8 hits in the game, 21 strikeouts.
Just keep bleeding it out there. Milwaukee knocked off the Cardinals 8-4. The Cardinals cannot beat Milwaukee. They won yesterday, 2 days ago. But they have a losing record against Milwaukee and a winning record against everybody else in the division. Brewers had 11 hits, including home runs by Bowers and Terang in the game. 2 RBIs for Terang, 3 for Bowers. That pretty much was the difference in the ball game. Jordan Walker had a 3-run home run for the Cardinals for 3 of their 4 runs in the game. But the Milwaukee just seems to own St. Louis right now. And for Milwaukee, Logan Henderson on the mound, 5 1/3. 3 hits, 3 runs, 4 Ks, but he got the W's, 3-1 on the season. And Milwaukee beat them 8-4.
Number 2, Orioles over the Cubs. Sorry, Phil. 3-2.
Ouch.
Tyler O'Neill, solo home run in the bottom of the second for his only hit of the game. Seiya Suzuki then had a solo home run in the top of the 6th. So it was tied 1-1 going into the 8th. And then Seiya Suzuki again with an RBI double. He finished 3 for 4 in this game. And then Jeremiah Jackson with a pinch hit, 2 RBI double in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, I saw it. Not live, but I saw it.
More hits than Ks in this one. 12 hits, 10 Ks.
How about that? The Tigers got outstanding pitching from Framber Valdez. I gotta make sure I get that right. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 9 strikeouts. No walks for Framber. So he goes to 5-6 on the year. Tigers 4, Athletics 1. Tigers didn't do a lot either offensively. They only had 6 hits, but a couple of big hits there were. McKinstry hit his 4th home run, a 2-run shot. Rogers, backup catcher, hit his 3rd solo home run. And Valencia hit his 1st for a pinch hit home run to help the Pirates. That's how they got all the runs, were homers yesterday, 3 of them. The Athletics could only muster up 5 hits. Detroit, they're making a run to try to get back to 500. They said, to heck with you, Royals. We're not going to play in last place with you anymore. We're going to let you just be there by yourself. 4-1 Tigers over the A's.
It is gloomy in Sacramento right now. Number 1, Rangers over the Angels. Rangers were actually up 7-6, sorry. The Rangers were actually up 6-1 going into the 7th inning. Nathan Eovaldi, 6 innings, 10 Ks, 6 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, and then he faced the first 2 batters of the 7th inning, and they yanked him. 5 runs off of 4 RBI singles in the top of the 7th. Wyatt Langford had an RBI single in his first game back from the injured list for the walk-off victory. 25 Ks, 22 hits. It's a little bit more even there.
And the Royals lost again. Mets 7, Royals 3 in a day game at Shea. Is that Shea Stadium? Is that what they call it anymore? I don't even know. In New York. That's how little attention I pay to what goes on in New York. Michael Walker cruising into the 5th inning, but then he gave up 5 runs. He goes 4 2/3. Sean Manaea, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks. For the Mets, Royals got solo home runs from Thomas and Witt Jr. and an RBI double by Caglione. But it wasn't enough. Soto hit his 21st home run, a solo shot, in the 7th inning. But the Mets were just too much for the Royals as they travel to Baltimore now to take on the Orioles. It was New York 7, Kansas City 3. So I'm out of time, running out of time. So we'll get to the standings going into the weekend in the next hour segment. With that, I'm just baffled. We'll get to the All-Star game and we'll see if the Royals are going to start moving some pieces or if they're just going to continue to stand pat and do nothing. That's how I see it. All right. 1 hour in the books on this Friday, the end of the work week edition of In the Zone. We haven't heard from you yet out there at 316-522-1410. Hour 2 next.
This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Taylor has advice for England if they want any chance to win in Mexico. What's your advice for them? Because Mexico has this home field advantage that I'm not all too comfortable with. I have to be honest. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you this right now. A decoy bus with decoy players.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
The burrito is fire.
Hi, this is Maya.
And I'm Antonio. And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito
Is that it fuels our morning.
It's the full package.
You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns for a nice little crunch.
The chicken's always nice. It's crispy, it's juicy. And the cheeses, they melt together in a beautiful way.
And it gives me energy. It's perfect.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scramble burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, to get 30, to get 20, 20, 20, to get 20, 20, to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month. Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See term.
Market information from the Mid-America Egg Network. I'm James Garrett. Moving through a Friday over in the corn market. September corn up 1 3/4 at $4.33 1/4. Kansas City wheat for September up 21 cents at $6.75 1/4. In the bean market, August beans up 2 3/4 at $11.80 1/2. Soybean meal for August up $3.20 at $3.20.60, and soybean oil for August up 63 cents at $70.55. In the cotton market, December cotton down 23 cents at $80.38. In the energies, crude oil for August down 46 cents at $71.62. Unleaded gas for August down 7 cents to $2.96. Heating oil for August slightly higher to $3.57, and natural gas for August down 12 cents at $2.88. And over in the stocks, the S&P 500 is a little changed as index heads for a winning week, with the Dow Jones currently up 31 points at 52,518. The S&P 500 is down 2 points at 7,540, and the Nasdaq down 69 points at 26,137. Market information from the Mid-America Ag Network.
The NCAA will expand to 76 teams starting in 2027, and that will be a huge benefit to Wichita. Yesterday, the NCAA announced that Wichita has been selected to host the opening round of the 2027 and 2028 Division I men's basketball tournament. They will join Dayton, Ohio, which has been a host city for a number of years, to host the new play-in games. They will be over a 2-day period, the Tuesday and Wednesday after Selection Sunday. The Wichita Wind Surge fall again last night to the Naturals, 13-6. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs.
Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430 or online at burwellconstruction.com.
This is Wichita's sports station, K230BY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO Belle Plaine, Wichita.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita.
You just tap in and leave it on.
This is In the Zone on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Get in the zone, get in the zone on KGSO.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of this Friday edition of In the Zone on the 10th of July. I'm Phil. James sits to my right. Good morning again, James.
Morning, Phil.
All right. Finish up the segment. We get carried away talking about these baseball games. We're running out of time to do the standings and the stats on Friday.
Well, the standings and the stats, Phil, are
what?
There's something flying around here. A gnat or something.
Nope.
No, the standings and the leaders and all that comes second to what actually happened on the field.
Oh, I know. That's
I
why
think it's okay if it bleeds over.
Okay, well, it's bleeding over today. All right, the 3 hottest teams in baseball right now are the Boston Red Sox, the Detroit Tigers, and the Miami Marlins. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Tampa Bay has the best record in the American League. They have a 4-game lead over the Yankees at the moment. Toronto, Boston, both 11 back, and Baltimore pulling up the rear of the East, 12.5 back. In the Central, White Sox lost 3 in a row to the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken. They're tied now with the Guardians for atop the Central Division of the American League. The Minnesota Twins are just 2 back, and Detroit, who is hanging back there with the Royals, now just 4.5 back in the division. The Royals are 10 back, and whatever life preserver they had has run out of air. They're falling by the wayside quick. In the West, Texas has now taken a half-game lead over the Mariners. Houston just 2 back. Your Athletics are still not out of it. They're 6 back. But without Brent Rooker, they may not
win
survive.
again. They may not win again.
No, they'll win at least
I
once.
just want to win a game.
One.
Playoffs. Don't talk to me about playoffs, Phil.
And the Angels are 10.5 back in the American League. In the wild card, Yankees, Guardians, Seattle are the 3 teams in right now. Minnesota's a game back. Houston, 1.5 back. Toronto and Boston, 2.5 back. Tigers, 3.5 back. Baltimore, 4. The Athletics, 5.5. 2 teams out of the race, the Royals and the Angels. Congratulations, fellas. In the National League right now, in the East, Atlanta has a 3-game lead over both the Phillies and the Marlins. It's pretty amazing to see the Marlins still hanging on up there. Washington, 7 back, and the Mets, 15 back. Second highest payroll in baseball? Yeah, you're only 14 games under 500. Fired your manager? I don't know. Maybe you'll play better. You're 500 in your last 10 games. Milwaukee leads the Central by 7 games now over the Cubs. Cardinals are 10.5 back. Pittsburgh, 12.5 back. And the Reds, 16.5 back. Brewers have the second best record in the National League, only behind the West leading Dodgers, who are 61-33 with the best record in baseball. And everybody else is that division's under 500 and double-digit games back, including the Rockies, who no longer have the worst record in baseball. That's the Angels. But they're consistently battling for that bottom spot, and the Royals are slowly chasing them. In the National League wild card chase right now, Cubs, Phillies, and Marlins are currently in. St. Louis, 3 back. Washington, 4. Pittsburgh, 5. Arizona, San Diego, 5.5. Everybody else, you're pretty much done. That includes the Reds, the Mets, the Giants, and the Rockies. That's standings-wise, that's what's going on. Otto Lopez still leads all major league hitters in batting average at .345. He's 19 points better than Yandy Diaz. Yordan Alvarez still chasing that possible triple crown. But he's hitting .310, but it's 5th best in Major League Baseball right now. Schwarber leads in home runs with 32. Alvarez second with 29. RBIs, Jordan Walker with 73. Luis Garcia, 68, Washington Nationals. And Alvarez is 3rd, chasing that. So he's still got an outside chance. He's still top 5 in all 3 categories. Otto Lopez leads in hits. And in stolen bases, Nasim Nunez of Washington with 33. Bobby Witt Jr., 2nd in Major League Baseball with 30. On the pitching side of things, you still got Aaron Ashby of Milwaukee with 12 victories, 1 ahead of Chase Burns of Cincinnati. In earned run average, it's Jacob Mizorowski, 1.62 for the Milwaukee Brewers. Nobody else under 2. Cam Schlittler is at 2.01. And Chris Sanchez, who was right up there chasing Mizorowski, is no longer in the top 5.
Good job, Royals.
Yeah, well, way to go, Royals. Ruined something for somebody. Cade Smith of Cleveland, 27 saves. Brian Baker of Tampa Bay, 2 behind him with 25 right now. Strikeouts, Mizorowski has 167. Dylan Cease of Toronto, 2nd at 148. Sanchez, 3rd now at 137. And quality starts goes to Sandy Alcantara with 13. Michael Walker's still up there with 12. Tied for 4th. Chris Sanchez and Yamamoto of the Dodgers also have 13 quality starts thus far. Those are your major league leaders going into this weekend prior to the All-Star break. James, you've been typing away over there. What have you pulled up?
So I was just a little curious because, we see the Yankees have been trailing the Rays for quite some time, but these 2 teams could very well have the 2 best records in the American League. So it got me thinking, when is the last time that we saw 2 teams from the same division end up with the 2 best records in one league?
Okay.
Now, obviously, remember 2021 when the Giants somehow won 107 games. Still don't know how the hell that happened to this day. And the Dodgers had 106. And that was the famous, they met in the playoffs and the Giants lost. So they won 107 games
like a cheap
to not even win a series in the playoffs that year. So, but other than that, in 2015, Phil, I had no idea this was legit. The Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Cubs had the 3 best records in baseball that year.
2015?
2015. The Cubs finished 3rd in that division with 97 wins. And that's the only time that that's ever happened, where 3 teams from the same division have the best record across the entire league. That was the year the Royals won 95.
Right, and the Royals beat the Mets in the World Series.
93, it also happened between the Braves and the Giants.
Okay. That's going back a ways because that's when the Braves were in the Western Division.
Right. And then I want to say there was even one more scenario, too. In 1977, it almost happened, but the Yankees, Orioles, and Red Sox, but the Dodgers actually won 98 that year, so they were 2nd instead of 4th.
I see.
So it was close. But yeah, so I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that if the Rays and the Yankees, because we know they're not probably going to have a better record than the Dodgers, so they won't be the top 2 teams in the entire league, but they could very well be the 2 best in the American League. And they'll have to play in the second round, more than likely. Because the Yankees will have the best wild card spot, or whatever. The Rays will have the highest, and then the other team will have home field.
Okay.
That's if, the 2 and the 3 both win their playoff series as well.
Well,
because I hated when the Giants had to play the Dodgers in the NLDS, because I wanted to see those teams in the NLCS. They're the 2 best teams. Why should we have them? And I understand how divisions work, and we have to prioritize division winners and all that, and I get it. It's kind of the, the bugaboo that we have with the NFL that we're starting to get is, for example, if you only win 8 games as your division, you shouldn't get a home playoff game.
But they do.
Baseball, it kind of bleeds in a little bit over here as well, because that's going to be unfortunate for for whichever side loses,
right?
Because they could have been playing an extra series, they could have made an appearance in the Championship League series. So I don't know if that's ever going to change, or if it just doesn't happen often enough for it to be a problem.
Well, here's the crazy part. Look at the standings right now. Tampa Bay would get the number 1 seed. Either the White Sox or Cleveland would have the 2 seed and get a bye. The Rangers, who currently lead the West, would play whoever the 6th team is right now. That would be the Mariners. And the Yankees and either the White Sox or Cleveland would be matched up against each other in the first round. I guess. And then you could have the Yankees and Tampa Bay playing in the division series, I guess. Whatever they call it.
That's what it would be.
They wouldn't meet up because the Yankees are the 4. So, no, I guess it would be Texas would get that marking possibly. I don't know. Who knows how this all shakes out?
Do you wish that they still did it how they started baseball with, and that's if you're the best, the top overall in the American and the top overall in the National, you guys go for the World Series, and that's it? Did you prefer that?
Well, you had that was all the way back before they went to division play. That would have been all the way back into the...
Wasn't division play in 69?
I guess it came along sometime in the 60s. I don't remember exactly when that took place. But I don't mind I didn't mind the 2 divisions. The winner of the East plays the winner of the West, and the winner of that goes to the World Series. I didn't mind. I always liked that. I mean, it stunk when you were a good team and you couldn't get over the hump in your own division. But, now in this world of rewarding teams who aren't near as good, but it also rewards teams that maybe are in a really tough division.
It wasn't 69.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Mets and the Reds in 69 met up for the National League Championship. And that was the year that Bud Harrelson and Pete Rose got into a little scuffle at second base. That was back when you could actually take guys out, breaking up a double play. So, but
Hank Aaron homered in every game of that series. The Mets, Braves.
Hank Aaron.
It says here, Hank Aaron homered in every game of the series for the Braves.
Well, he was playing for the Braves, but I don't know how they would have been. They weren't in the World Series then.
No, it says in the Championship League series. That's what I'm talking about.
69?
NLCS. I typed it 1969 NLCS. It says Mets beat the Braves 3-0. 3-0.
Right, and they won the World Series that year.
But I'm saying Hank Aaron homered in every one of those games.
I thought maybe it was 70 that took place with the Reds and the Mets. I don't remember.
Yeah. No, Reds Pirates was in 70.
Okay. I don't remember when it was then. I just remember seeing the highlight of it with that. So, okay. Well, Hank Aaron wasn't enough to overtake the Mets in 69 at that point. So, all right, 522-1410 is the phone number if you want to chime in somewhere. But right now, there are not a lot of good teams in the American League, at least not record-wise.
Or differential-wise.
So you wonder how many of these teams will try to make a push to acquire players to improve. And if you believe you have a chance to make the playoffs, you would think you would be a buyer right now. Well, in the American League, there's probably 8, 9 of these teams right now that probably think I've got a chance still to either win my division or get a wild card spot. And there aren't enough, I don't think there's enough good players or pitchers out there for everyone to acquire somebody to make a run at it. The National League, not quite so much. You know, maybe only have about 6. I don't know what's going to happen with Arizona and San Diego. Those two teams are very underachieving at this point in time. So I don't know. We'll see. We got about 3 weeks before the trade deadline hits. And teams will get serious about this after the All-Star break coming up. With all the possibilities that present themselves. Teams can still make trades in August. Players just have to go through waivers. It makes it a little tougher. Sometimes there's a guy to go through that won't get through waivers. Then they'll get claimed and the trade will be void. A lot of teams will block that in those situations. So
here's a thought that I've had.
When
we're comparing college sports to professional sports,
right?
What the big difference between college and NBA is what?
The big difference between
what's the difference between college basketball? Not like the quarters or the halves. I'm talking about like the actual game.
The actual game
like
itself.
The 3-point line.
3-point line's one of them.
It's a little bit closer, right? So that's how we separate. In football, they make college guys, you only need 1 foot.
Right.
NFL, you need 2. Outside of the metal bats, what's different in baseball?
Outside of the metal bats, what is different in baseball?
Because that's an object that they can use. Can't really use an object in basketball and football that would change the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what is there to college baseball that the big leagues do not have besides the bats? It's pretty similar. Would you agree? I know mechanics and strategies are different, obviously, but when it comes to the hard game itself, there's not really a whole lot different.
But they have made the metal bat.
I have a point.
They've dumbed it down to where it's. You still have some balls that come off of it. The sweet spot's bigger. That's a big part of it with that. I don't know how much exit velocity is because you don't have near as many big, strong guys in college baseball like you do in the major leagues. But that's really the only difference. The metal bat allows the ball to carry a little further sometimes.
Okay, here's my point, Phil.
Okay.
Baseball wasn't always 60 feet 6 inches. The pitcher's mound.
Okay.
It started at 45. When the game first started, I'm talking late 1800s. 45 feet.
Right.
Then they found out
They
Batters
also
were
threw underhand.
They threw underhand, and you couldn't. There were no strikes and balls, all that stuff.
Right.
And then they moved it back to 50 feet because they realized we need more bats. We need more offense.
Okay.
And then they moved it again in 1893 to where it is today. And all of these moves were to help move the game in an offensive direction.
Right.
So why, in baseball, do they take such pride in not wanting to move the mound back again? Is it too far back to the point where if they did move it back, we would have more injuries to pitchers than what we have now? Because I'm not saying that, the sport is going to get better if the mound gets moved back, but we might start to see these batting averages come back up a little bit. It's just a thought, and I know it's probably not a traditionalist's dream to hear this because it's been this way for 130 years. But what about in college? You pitch at 60 feet 6 inches, and then when you come to the pros, we just move it back 3 feet. Would that throw off mechanics? Would that throw off how you teach guys how to throw? Would it make that much of a difference for the pitcher's physical arm if you just moved it back a couple? I know speed will come down. You're not going to see guys throwing 105 because it takes longer to get to the plate. So,
Right.
Pitches would slow down. Batters would have a little bit more time to react to it. Because I'm befuddled by the lack of 300 hitters we have. And so because they did it this long ago where they were struggling with offense, they're like, yeah, let's move the mound back. How come that's never been in consideration since 1893? Why have we never considered moving the mound back? I know they moved it down.
Point.
I know they moved it down.
Yeah, they went from...
It was 15 feet.
It was 15 inches high.
15 inches, sorry.
Yeah, and they moved it down to 10.
Well, because Bob Gibson was abusing that.
Yeah. He and a few others along with that. And I think part of what we see today, at least with Major League Baseball, I don't know what's wrong with my throat today with this, is that how they're teaching hitters today is that home runs matter more.
But,
that they're teaching hitters a different style of hitting.
But I would have expected this to start in the mid-2000s when all these home runs were happening. Right after 2001. I would have expected that trend to start shortly after that, not 20 years after the fact.
Well, I think what you saw is the development of pitchers throwing harder. And so because of that, more pitchers pitch up today than ever before, because that's how you beat today's swing of what they're teaching. Now, I don't teach it. If guys come in and that's how they want to hit, that's fine. I'm not going to try to change them. I'll talk to them about it, but I'm not going to try to change them. And this is what drives baseball, is home runs. You see a few more guys now trying to be, but not near enough.
But
guys
we celebrate guys with high batting averages. We wouldn't know who Otto Lopez is if he wasn't hitting 343.
Well, right.
We wouldn't know
but
who
he's
he
not
was.
a home run hitter.
And he's fine with that.
Right.
I'm saying, why are we so inclined to wanting to be the hero, wanting to be the big play guy, when Ichiro's a Hall of Famer, for crying out loud? Derek Jeter, I know he had some power,
You're not
but he's a
get
contact
an
guy.
argument from me.
I know, but I'm trying to find a reason.
This is where, when I have some of these folks on here next week, these will be good questions to ask, because I've asked Sean Johnson about, when they look at pitchers, is it about velocity? Is it about pitchability? And he said some pitchers who are low 90s guys, obviously it's pitchability. But it's hard to turn away from a guy that's throwing 97, 98 miles an hour.
But instead of overworking that part of his ability. Why not try and bring up maybe the weaker part of his game? And now you have a more balanced guy.
You would hope you could teach that, yes. It's kind of like...
It's like, I know you're good at throwing hard, so all I'm going to do is have you throw hard.
I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you a video that I watched the other day. Somebody posted this. This was a high school kid. And he spent 6 months in one of these throwing gurus deal, okay? Where he came in throwing 82, 84. He's like 15, 16 years old. 6 months later, they show him throwing 15 pitches that ended up being in the 90 to 92 range. You know how many of them he threw for strikes?
All of them?
0.
No.
None. 0. And I'm not talking about missing by maybe 2 or 3 inches.
You're
I'm talking
just a bit outside?
I'm talking about him missing 2 to 3 feet out of the strike zone. Catcher jumping to catch him, going sideways. Nothing even remotely close to the plate, and they're applauding this for this kid.
Because he's 10 miles an hour faster?
8 to 10 miles an hour faster, but he can't find the strike zone. That
Where's Mark Pryor?
I don't know.
Why isn't he out there teaching
But
kids?
this is what's going on. These guys don't teach how to pitch. They're just teaching you how to throw harder and what to do to develop your arm and eventually blow out your elbow. That's what is happening. And that's where the game's going. 522-1410 is the number. I'll be back after this timeout.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
There's only one way of looking at LeBron James' tenure in Los Angeles. It was a dud. Can't call it a complete failure because he did win a championship. Mickey Mouse championship, the bubble, whatever you want to call it. It was a dud.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Evenings on KGSO. And find KGSO on the SC Wichita app.
Getting in the zone is easy when your crew's fed right. Bricktown Brewery in Wichita East and West has your next event covered with catering that brings the flavor. From Bricktown boxes that make lunchtime a win to crafted specialty entrees and full buffet bar setups. You can bring the taste of Bricktown straight to your office, team, or celebration. Bricktown Brewery Catering, available for pickup, delivery, or full service. Check out the full menu at bricktownbrewery.com/catering. Bricktown Brewery Catering, bring your appetite and we'll handle the rest.
America is turning 250, and we're celebrating all month long at Midwest Kia. Join us for our Stars, Stripes, and Savings Sales event, where we're honoring America's 250th birthday with incredible savings throughout July. Celebrate extra savings on every new Kia that's built right here in America, including the award-winning Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, hybrid models, and the electrified EV6 and EV9 models. And no birthday party is complete without a present. This July, purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle and get a $250 gas gift card. It's our way of helping you enjoy the summer road ahead. Plus, every new Kia comes with that unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. But hurry, this special Independence Day offer and the $250 gas gift card won't last forever. Visit MidwestKia.com. And remember,
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
see dealer for details. Offer ends July 31st. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon Jaimes. Devon Jaimes Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
It's Wichita's sports station all in one location. Just download the SC Wichita app today.
Welcome back. You're in the zone on this Friday, the 10th of July. And if you want to let the good times roll, we'll go here.
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
10 tacos for $10.99. That's right. You know what? And if you're hungry, go do it, man. Go see if you can knock out the 10-pack. Get your favorite sauce, mild, hot, green chili, or Reaper. Get you a beverage. Have a little more of an expenditure. Yeah, but see if you can pull it off. The 10-pack feast of tacos. If you're not that hungry, try the 3 wonton tacos for $4.99. 2 locations in Wichita, 13th and North Tower, 35th and North Rock Road. Also, El Dorado, Newton, Augusta, Arc City, and Derby. Or you can order online, tacotico.us, and go through the closest drive-through to you and pick it up. Take it with you to go. The 10-pack of tacos for $10.99 or the 3 wonton tacos for $4.99 at
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
Also, want to remind you, the TBT tournament is just around the corner as the Aftershocks return to try to defend their title from a year ago. Dexter Dennis joins this year's team, and the grand prize has doubled. Tickets are on sale now, tbthoops.com, and we'll have some giveaways here on KGSO. The format's changed. They open with the best 2 out of 3 series against the New Mexico alumni, all here in Wichita. And don't forget, we'll be broadcasting Aftershocks games right here on KGSO. There you have it. 522-1410 is the phone number. We're getting closer to the start of football. And by the way, just so you know, the NCAA, they're always a little behind catching up to things. They've opened up an inquiry into Cincinnati regarding the Sorsby situation. This isn't going to go away. What did the Bearcats know? What did they keep under wraps? Did they know all this was going on? We will see. We will see. Also, this little deal about the NIL clearinghouse. here's my question. They rejected $90 million in deals because they didn't add up. I guess you'd say. Excuse me, I have to. Well, no, it went away. I don't have to sneeze now. It'll come back. They also approved $355 million in NIL agreements since it was launched in June of 2025. During a 61-day period from May 1st to June 30th of this year, they rejected NIL deals worth $34 million and cleared deals worth $113 million. Now, the average deal in those 61 days was worth $14,792. And the average deal that was rejected was worth $51,593. How many of these deals are going through under the table? That's my question. Not being reported. And if you believe I'm mistaken, you're wrong. There's a lot of this stuff happening under the table just like the old days. Let's go to the Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotline. Welcome. You're in the zone.
Hey, good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
I got a question for you.
I'll try to have an answer.
So, they were talking about this the settlement where they give a budget like $27 million or something for the schools to spend.
The amount that you could spend this past year, I believe, was $20.5 million. I'm not sure what the number is for this year.
Okay, so that number, I've been listening to a couple of the other shows, and someone said that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the schools aren't taking that money. Is that because it's a grant and they have to pay that back, or are all the schools taking that money and actually using that? Because I heard a couple people say that some schools aren't accepting that as it's a grant. Is that accurate,
I don't know if it's a grant. I think it's money you can raise from within or have from within to pay players. I don't know if there's a grant system to go get money from somewhere that you have to pay back. Maybe there is. Maybe there's that possibility if you want to put your athletic department out there to grab that type of a loan. But my understanding is that this is money that you can spend from within your own athletic department, and how you choose to distribute it up to that level, whatever that number is for this year, is up to you. I mean, if you want to spend, they talked about spending 75% of that money towards football and 15% to men's basketball and 5% to women's basketball, and then 5% towards all the other sports. But you don't have to follow that guideline. And if you don't have football, like Wichita State, you don't have to spend $20.5 million. Nobody has to spend the $20.5 million. It's just a max number that you can spend, and that doesn't include NIL deals that are separate from...
Right, so that's not a cap, right?
Yeah, that's only an in-house cap that you can provide to players in your athletic department. That's a cap that comes from within.
And is that money being paid out by the NCAA, like by conference, like the Big 12 has its own conference, and they,
No, that money is spent.
That money?
That money you have to raise from in-house. It has to come from inside. So it's like, let's just say, for example, I'll use Oklahoma. Okay, they can spend this past year $20.5 million. Now they can get it from donors. It can come from revenue from making the CFP that you receive. It's money that is from within your department. How you raise it or where you get it from, and then that's the cap that you can spend. That's the max cap. in-house. NIL is a completely separate entity that is supposed to be run through this commission.
But they're not being done, right?
Well,
from what I'm hearing.
I mean,
for the most part.
I'm just saying, do I believe that every NIL deal that's out there has been run through this commission? No. I think there are people that probably say, hey, we'll just give you this, and occasionally we'll mention your name in an ad, or you could do an ad for us, or something that's kept quiet to some degree. Do I think those deals are still going on? Yeah, I do. Used to be like, you would come to work and keep the alligators off of our parking lot, and we'll pay you $55 an hour to spend 4 hours a day, but you don't have to come into work because we don't have alligators where we are. Those went on for years. Or the $100 handshakes that took place.
Right.
Those deals are probably now back happening again, because the NCAA doesn't have the enforcement people to be able to go out and deal with this, because they're dealing with all this other crap. So I think it's easier now to probably slip players money under the table more than ever before. If you want to ask my opinion, that's my opinion.
Look at all these gambling sites. I mean, just them alone,
Yeah.
bribing people. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach what's going on. But hopefully this new rule change, is that being implemented this year? You got 5 years and you got one transfer. Is that being implemented this year?
I don't know if that's. I don't think that's been approved yet. It's been a recommendation. So I have a feeling that's going to go.
What about that thing that Trump did? Is that still on the table?
Same type of deal. Yeah, it's a deal. It's a recommendation. It still has to go through a vote, and I don't know when that vote is, when they do that. So
hopefully we can get that in line, because it's sports are getting harder and harder to watch with all the BS coming out and all these gambling scandals. I mean, what do you think? How many more do you think are going to come out this year? I mean,
who knows?
Like every week goes by, there's another one. The NBA, the NFL, the college.
When you can, at the the touch of your phone, be able to do these different things. Now they're registered. Are you registered? Are you old enough to place bets? Are you old enough to do all these things? If Johnny, who's a sophomore in college at age of 19, and his parents are okay with him placing bets, and they just use one of the parents' phones, it's registered. How many parents are making bets based upon inside information they get from their kids?
100%. That's what I'm saying, man. You think this Swartz or whatever his name is, that Texas Tech kid, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm telling you, there's more going on, and that's why a lot of these schools that came out and were like, I can't believe the way Texas Tech has handled this whole. Wait till it comes out in your locker room.
Yes,
you're gonna be saying the same thing.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely.
All right, Phil.
Devin,
you have a great weekend, brother.
We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, there goes Devin. He wants to know how big of a difference is there between a pitcher and a thrower. We can talk about that when In the Zone returns and wraps it up after this.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mike check. Walker Kessler, a legitimate defensive big. This is what I've been preaching now since the new Dodger owners came in. It's not about clinging to the past. It's about spending money and looking through the windshield, not the rear view mirror.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays at 11 a.m. right here on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Phil's Coins and Bullion, Kansas's premier bullion dealer.
Do you need to get rid of some jewelry? Don't waste any time and stop by Phil's Coins and Bullion today. Phil's Coins will give you top dollar for any of your unwanted jewelry. Whether it's gold or silver, get the most out of the unwanted jewelry in your drawer and do it with Phil's Coins and Bullion, 9344 West Central Avenue.
Phil's Coins and Bullion, philscoins.com.
Remember, today you listen to Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Come on, baby.
Van Halen and Finish What You Started brings us back, and that's what we plan to do. James is back in the house. We're going to finish what we started right here. 522-1410 is phone number. I saw the phone line ringing a little late. Somebody called and hung up while we were at a break before I could get to it. You brought this up when you came in during the break about Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, Scotty, not off to the start that we were all expecting him to go on, Phil. He's going to miss the cut.
Yeah.
And it'll be his first time missing the cut in 78 events.
Unless a lot of people start playing poorly.
Well, even then, I mean, there's only 15 guys left. Okay, there's actually people in the cut that still have to play today.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of them left to play. He just shot even par for 2 rounds.
Yeah, he was +2 today.
So he's
I don't think this
2 shots are made. The cut's projected at -2. He's at even par. So yeah, there will be a lot of people have to play poorly here that haven't opened their rounds up yet to allow him to make a jump here. So we'll see, but it doesn't look very promising for old Scotty over in the Scottish Open. So, in case you want to know, the leader after 2 rounds is Jordan Smith. He is 7 under par at the moment.
Today.
No, he's finished. He shot a 68 and a 63.
Saying, like he's negative. He was 7 under today.
He's -9. Rory's tied with him at -9.
Yeah, I think he's out there right now.
And he's still playing on the course. He's played through 10 holes at this point. Matt Fitzpatrick has finished 2 rounds. He's at -8. Those guys are going to make the cut. The top American, Michael.
Good luck.
Yeah, Thor Bjornsson. That's an American name. He's -7, and he's on the course through 12 holes. Okay, Mike says
Thorbjornsson. That's how you say it.
Thorbjornsson?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike says, Phil, your NIL job descriptions sound like The Sopranos. A no-show construction job, and once in a while the wise guy goes to the job site wearing flip-flops and khakis, sitting in a lawn chair. Meanwhile, he is getting major bank. trust me, those jobs were out there in the 70s and the 80s, primarily for football players. Summer jobs where, car dealerships would give you an 8 hours worth of pay for showing up for a couple hours, those type deals. And those went on all the time. Yeah, you're not there to wash cars or anything. You're just there to be seen at that car dealership when a potential customer walks in and they see the star quarterback standing in the showroom. Now, those days are over because you can't be seen. I'm thinking there's still a lot of under-the-table money probably being thrown about that none of us know about. Back being the way it used to be. 522-1410 is the phone number. Hey, they have this thing going on called Wimbledon. James, are you familiar with it?
A little bit.
A little bit? I couldn't tell you a tennis player out there right now.
You know the Joker.
Well, I mean, that's okay. I couldn't tell you a tennis player that's in their 20s.
You don't know who Yannick Sinner is?
Nope.
Well, he's the now.
He's it. He's the cat's meow at this point in time. I don't know who I haven't followed tennis in so long. I couldn't tell you why. It just I've lost interest in pro tennis, I guess. But that's probably just me at this point in time. There's just so much to keep up with. At some point, your brain just says, I'm tired of this.
It's a major, though, Phil.
Well, yeah, I get that. And they play on grass, and the grass wears out on the main courts. And then they're playing on dirt in a lot of places. Did you ever play tennis, James?
I couldn't get into it.
Recreationally, not.
I thought about it just to kill time. But
yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of badminton and PE, and I enjoyed badminton.
Okay.
And badminton was pretty fun to play. That could be something that, maybe when I'm a little bit older.
Yeah, maybe.
Not racquetball. That's a little too slow pace. But badminton, those guys are running.
I played a little tennis growing up in high school, not competitively, but played recreationally with friends and what have you, and played some in college. And we had some pretty spirited games, I guess you would say, along the way. And being left-handed, the oddity, I played right-handed with a tennis racket in my hand, which was the same deal with playing racquetball. I played right-handed. You hit it to my backhand, it was just like me hitting a baseball. And people, it took them a while to figure that out because they always think your backhand's the weakest. Not for me. So you found something of interest, I can tell by looking at you.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I thought the Terry and Arnold saga was going to end, but
no?
Apparently he was originally supposed to have a GPS tracker on him, but his lawyers argued that wearing this GPS monitor would prohibit him from getting signed by another team. Buddy, you probably shouldn't be playing football.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. If you're an NFL team, are you seriously going to look at signing this guy?
Why would you? I don't understand it.
I don't either. Who's gonna work this guy out?
It says here that his agent testified that she received inquiries from the Jets, the Seahawks, the Texans, and my Colts within 24 hours of him being released from the Lions. I don't know why.
What is wrong with these teams? What type of message are you sending?
I don't know what our GM's thinking, but
isn't that Ballard?
Yeah.
Isn't his son up for trying to win the job at KU?
I think so.
Quarterback?
I think so.
He is.
It's the lawyer also says that it's a very good likelihood that Arnold will get signed within the next 45 days.
Well, if I'm not signing him because I don't want to deal with the headache that this is going to become. But there are teams that their morals and scruples are different than mine. Devin wants to know, does Connor have any chance this weekend?
I don't think he does. I don't think McGregor has a chance.
Okay.
He's been out for too long.
We'll find out.
He's been out for too long. I know his demeanor's changed, but I think his leg still might be a little fragile.
Okay. James, final thoughts.
The boys in red and maroon, whatever you want to call it. Spain, Belgium, under 2.5 goals.
Okay. You heard it here first, right here on In the Zone. The Herd's next. Small Bitch Stugatz at 2, and the Press Box Boys at 4 o'clock. For James, I'm Phil. You have a great weekend, Wichita. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd